3 stadiums, $11 billion in revenue, and a transport system that might collapse under one night of football. This is the World Cup final in New York, New Jersey. But here's what makes it strange. The stadium isn't even in New York, and getting there might cost more than your match ticket. A $13 train ride is being sold for $98. Parking is almost impossible, and 40,000 fans are expected to move through one single transit line at the same time. So the real question isn't who wins the final, it's whether anyone can actually get there on time. Let's start where this whole story is heading, the final itself. The stadium hosting it has a new name for the tournament, New York, New Jersey Stadium. Most people know it as MetLife, but it's actually in East Rutherford, New Jersey, roughly 13 kilometers from Manhattan. Close enough to share the name, far enough to create a real logistics problem. And that problem starts before you even get inside the stadium. This stadium opened in 2010, built for $1.6 billion as home to the Giants and the Jets, on artificial turf. FIFA doesn't allow that, so a brand new natural grass field, Bermuda grass grown on a turf farm in North Carolina, was shipped in by refrigerated truck and laid in sections. The stadium has no roof, which means the grass and every fan in the building is fully exposed to the elements for every single match. The players have already noticed. Brazil's Vinicius Jr. said the heat dries the grass out fast, and it slows the entire game down. No rhythm, no flow. French midfielder Adrien Rabiot was blunter. He said the pitch felt hard, almost artificial, like playing on cement. Even French manager Didier Deschamps made the same joke. There might be some cement below the grass. FIFA's response was that they'd spent over 5 years testing this exact surface. 5 years, and the players are still calling it cement. And the field wasn't the only thing that had to change to make this stadium World Cup ready. A regulation soccer pitch is wider than an NFL field, so engineers had to physically tear out 1,740 seats from the corners just to make room. So that's what's waiting for you inside. Now here's the part that decides whether you even make it that far. There's no general parking on stadium property on match days. None. Walking in isn't realistic either. The roads around the stadium aren't built for pedestrians. That leaves rideshare, where prices surge and wait. Times stretch fast. Advance purchase parking at the American Dream Mall for $225 a spot, or the option almost everyone ends up relying on. And here's the number that should stop you. New Jersey Transit's normal round-trip fare from Penn Station to MetLife is $12.90. On World Cup match day, that exact same ride costs $98, nearly 7.5 times the regular price. It was actually worse before this. Officials originally priced it at $150 a ticket until both states' governors went public against it. Charging over $100 for a short train ride sounds awfully high to me. The backlash forced it down to $98, and that's still the number fans are paying today. Even at that price, only 40,000 tickets are available for the train per match, which means the crowd that doesn't fit still has to find another way in. And the trains themselves have a bottleneck. The sudden surge backs up transfer hubs like Secaucus Junction, where everyone funnels through at once. The highways aren't any better. The New Jersey Turnpike and Route 3 back up into gridlock hours before kickoff and stay that way long after the final whistle. It gets harder once you factor in money. NJ Transit is footing a $62 million bill just to run this service. The federal government is putting in $10 million. The host committee, $3 million. That leaves $48 million NJ Transit has to absorb on its own. Zero help from FIFA, the same organization projecting over $11 billion in revenue from this exact tournament. So picture it. Tens of thousands of fans, one transit corridor, record summer heat, no real alternative route in or out. Does that system hold on July 19th? Or does it crack on the one day the entire planet is watching? If New York's problem is too many people and too few ways in, Dallas has the opposite kind of problem. One that's just as strange, 1,300 miles away in Arlington, Texas. AT&T Stadium, Dallas Stadium for the tournament, has a roof. And that roof is exactly what creates the issue. This stadium has run on artificial turf since 2009. FIFA's rule doesn't bend. Natural grass, no exceptions, so engineers had to grow a living field indoors, under a roof that stays closed most of the time to block the Texas heat, which means the grass underneath gets almost no natural sunlight. Their fix sounds like science fiction. Pink grow lights hung from the ceiling, a setup engineers admit had never been attempted before. Sod grown in Colorado, shipped in refrigerated trucks, laid 24 inches above the concrete floor, lit for 12 hours a day just to keep it alive. The conversion alone took 45,000 man-hours and 15,000 tons of material for one field. And Dallas isn't even the worst case. Different city, different climate, same underlying truth as New York. Every one of these stadiums is being pushed to do something it was never originally built for. Which brings us to the one city that, on paper, should have none of these problems. Atlanta. Mercedes-Benz Stadium sits 20 minutes from Hartsfield-Jackson, the busiest airport in the world. MARTA's rail line runs straight to the stadium doors. This city was picked partly because its infrastructure already looked strong, but that strength is exactly what creates the pressure. Atlanta landed the semifinal on July 15th, the second highest demand match of the entire tournament. And getting the stadium to FIFA's standard has already cost more than $200 million in upgrades. To their credit, Atlanta isn't panicking. New train cars, an upgraded payment system, a brand new bus rapid transit line, all launching before kickoff. This isn't a system on the edge of collapse. It's a system that's actually prepared, which makes the real question sharper, not softer. When the world's busiest airport, a sold-out semifinal, and a packed downtown all converge on the same afternoon, is prepared the same thing as enough? On paper, America's stadiums are finished. The tickets are sold, the cameras are ready, but when the finals whistle blows, FIFA walks away with its revenue, and these cities are left holding the bill and the long-term strain on their infrastructure for years afterward. The stadiums might be ready. The cities are the real question, and in a few weeks, we'll find out something bigger than who wins the trophy, whether the biggest World Cup ever built was also standing on its most pressure-tested infrastructure. Do you think New York, New Jersey can pull this off? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this investigative documentary, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next deep dive into global mega projects. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.